Hey everybody, it's me. I'm back, and it's time to draw with a friend. That's me. But I actually have a friend with me this time. Say hi, honey.
Hi.
There we go. Okay. That's Luis, and he might talk or he might not talk. We'll find out. I'm going to be drawing in my sketchbook on top of some watercolor mess that I made. Just sketching, using pencils and blending nubs. So just go get your stuff, go get your paper, go get your pens, get your coffee, and we'll just start. Click. Yay! Okay.
So how do you usually start these things?
That's how I start these things. I say, hey everybody!
Well, I was asking, like, what do you do for your drawing? What are we drawing today?
Okay, so Luis has his sketchbook over here. Mine is over here. So it's just to get people / me to commit to a half an hour of drawing. So
all right, so it doesn't matter. There's no subject today.
No. It's just you know,
you got it.
Do some scribbles, or if you have some ideas, like get that sketch done, get that, whatever down.
Oh, I'm in your zone.
Yeah. So, okay. So I'm just drawing. Most of the time I have to come up with an idea before I start because I'm really bad at just coming up with stuff on the fly. So I just have some eraser stuff that I might use. I got my kneading eraser. I love those things. Oh, there's my old kneading eraser. Let's show that to the fans. I'm sure they'd love to see it. So this is the one for light work. Here's the one that I used for charcoals because it's like really dark. But the stuff is amazing. So if you don't have one, get a kneading eraser. They usually look like that. General's kneaded rubber. And then I just, Ooh, so hard. Medium. Oh, and I have an electric eraser. Super fun.
That's fancy.
Yeah, I like that one. My sister bought it for me. My sister buys me a lot of art supplies because she knows it's important to me. So let's see. 2, 3, 6. Alright, we'll just use those for now. Okay. Luis is an awesome artist
who has not practiced in a very long time.
Right. He does ink work. Super cool. He's never used a pencil before in his life.
Can't stand him.
So this is just one of my random pages in my sketchbook. I like to, pick a page and then I put random color down and just to see what I can come up with.
So I'm using a Lamy. This isn't normally what I use for sketching, but I really like the flow of these things, so.
Ooh, I didn't know that. Yeah, because usually you use those Copic multi-liners.
Yeah, the only thing I'm a little worried about with this is I'm not very familiar with the ink flow.
Yeah.
And so line widths are a little funny, and also I don't know how long it takes to dry, so it might be a little smudgy.
You're also using a really fancy sketchbook. What's that one? That's the Baron Fig. Yeah, that's the nice stuff. It's a beautiful day out, and you can hear the birds chirping and chipping.
Chipping?
I don't know. I said last time I'm really bad at talking and drawing at the same time.
Yeah.
So like
it's a practiced thing, right?
Because it's not like, I mean, obviously you're concentrating, but like, are you concentrating that hard that you can't speak? I guess so.
I think you're using a different part when you're concentrating on that, and just a matter of practice to be able to separate which muscles you're using or which portion of your brain you're using. So when did you watercolor that?
So when I get a new book, a new sketchbook, which we're gonna have to do a video soon on doing a new sketchbook because I don't have many pages left in this one. So when I get a new sketchbook, I go through and I tape things in, or like I'll do washi tape borders, and then I just pick random pages to randomly color. Like there's the blue page. I like that one. And so this one's just this pinky purple page. So yeah, I like to go through fresh new sketchbooks and not destroy them, but like
like prep them.
Yeah, like give a bit of randomness to it, because like, oh, I'm doing all these sketches in here, and now, oh, I came to a pink page. Oh my goodness, what am I gonna do on this pink page? You know, it's that kind of thing. Like just try to make you come up with something on the fly. So I'll definitely be doing that on one of these where I have to break in my new sketchbook. That's what we'll call it, breaking it in.
So I admit I kind of chickened out with what I'm doing over here. This is something I used to do a lot with folks. Just ask them to scribble on a page, and then I would fill it in with different textures. I think that was for the, what are they called? Zentangles?
Oh yeah. They're totally.
But it's a cowardly way of doing something like this, since I have nothing that I'm committed to.
Well, it definitely gives you that, again, that exercise of testing the pen on the paper, the ink, and it makes you practice your textures. Like, how fine can you get those lines consecutively next to each other? Or, how smooth can you make those bubble shapes? Like, again, it's just about practice. Like, if you've got something you want to finish, cool. That's great. I'm glad. But this is just more about just do something, like. I haven't drawn with my pencils and my smidging nubs in forever. So
I think you just made that word up.
What? Smooge?
Smidging nub.
Smidging nub?
You said smidging.
We'll blame that on the fever. Okay. Okay.
So how much of what you're watching or recently saw creeps into your work?
Not a lot. I don't think. I mean, it depends. I suppose it depends on how much you are inspired by what you're seeing. Like,
fair enough, yeah.
like, or like when I'm playing video games like a few days in a row, like Zelda or something like that, you know, something fantastical like that, I definitely do want to draw more characters that are like that. I do love drawing, I do love drawing fantasy stuff, so, you know, when I end up playing Zelda or something, Ni no Kuni, playing with those things, I definitely want to get my sketchbook out. Or like Skylanders, I love those games. And after playing them, even for like a little bit, I want to draw creatures. So I suppose more than I thought. What about you?
Well, I'm trying to figure out, I think, the fact that we watched a show that has a very strange, futuristic, like Art Deco look to it, to some of its designs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's where some of the choices are coming from.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely not on purpose.
Sorry. Beep, 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 beep. So I see faces in my drawing.
And your macaroni and cheese.
They're always smiling. No, in this smooge of pink and purple, I see a face.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm going for. So if you had poured coffee before this drinking and sketching
Extravaganza.
Yeah, what coffee would you have picked?
Well, right now we have some coffee from Northwest Washington, which is fantastic. I think it's called Woods is the brand.
It is. It's delicious.
And it's a medium roast with a slight almondy flavor. And the almondy really gives it a...
Yeah, because there's actual chunks of little almonds in there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gives it a very... it reduces the acid taste of the coffee, so it's a very smooth coffee.
Yeah, it's very, very tasty. Yep. I be drinking water right now. Gotta stay hydrated.
Never touch the stuff.
The glare on the light above me is making it really difficult to see my drawing. See? Oh, that's better.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. What are these faces doing? Who knows? Because we don't know what we're doing. But we're gonna do it anyway.
So, you and I have talked about this before, but the inclusion of, or the setting up of rules for yourself when you're starting to draw something.
Oh, yeah.
So, what rules have you created for yourself for what you're doing? At least for the moment.
Just that I want it to be slightly creepy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I suppose I don't have any rules at the moment. It's just get that face down, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw it, so I gotta... And again, just trying to remember, like, how does one color with graphite? You know, filling in shapes and... You know, nothing is pure white except maybe the reflections of lines and stuff.
Sure.
Move that over. The reflection of lines, so that's one of the things that you learn in school when you're gonna be doing graphite drawings, is that like everything has to have a shade of gray on it. You're not, you know, supposed to have, again, except maybe a few reflections, but everything else should be a shade of gray. So that's definitely a rule that I like to follow because I think it makes the images look good. It makes things look dynamic or whatnot. And that's when, again, needing erasers come in handy. And when you're drawing with pencil, and I know you don't know this, but like when you're drawing with pencil, it's crazy how light you can get something without making it white.
I think I understand that. Right.
Like, oh, and don't wipe because you're just gonna wipe this stuff away. But yeah, so how light you can get something without it being pure white. And what about you? Because you made a random line,
Mm-hmm.
and then when you fill them in, is it you're just picking a random shape, or you're really trying to, I don't know, make these shapes make sense, make the textures make sense?
No. I think more so my rules are about what textures I am going to use, or am I allowing lines to intersect or not, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. What's the biggest piece that you've ever done like that? Or is this just merely an exercise that you just keep small?
It's mainly just an exercise, so I think the largest would be the 8.5 by 11, is really just because it happened to be the sheet of paper that I was playing around with.
Mm-hmm. Glaire's gonna kill me.
The glare that you're seeing yourself, or what's being picked up by the camera?
What's being picked up by the camera just makes it not fun to watch. Cause like that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But like all you see is that. That's what these tests are for. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep, I think you're just gonna have to keep going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of the things. Like when you're drawing for others, like most of the time I'm hovering like this over my
Oh yeah,
work.
yeah.
So like trying to draw for others is hard. Okay, we've got one piece. Okay.
And I'm sorry, you said you saw multiple faces in your watercolor work, or just the one?
I saw one, but I'm gonna add another one.
Gotcha. Well, then of sorts, that's kind of your rule, is now that you have a theme or something going.
I suppose, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, so I was sick. So I spent a lot of time in bed, a lot of time watching Studio Ghibli films. What's your favorite Studio Ghibli film?
I think Arietti is probably my favorite.
Okay.
I love how atmospheric it is.
Mm-hmm. Not The Cat Returns, love?
Not The Cat Returns, and definitely not Kiki's.
I love Kiki! It's so cute! I can see why you wouldn't like it, though. Because she has irresponsible parents who didn't teach her anything.
Right.
I get that. My favorite Studio Ghibli film would have to be Howl's Moving Castle. Sorry. It's definitely Howl's Moving Castle. It's so good. Okay. Can barely see this one. Yeah, if you have not seen Studio Ghibli films, you gotta get on that. The largest drawing that I've ever done was actually it wasn't even for school, it was for me. I draw these creepy people, my friends called them creeps in school.
I forgot about those.
But I drew one that was 6 feet tall. I drew it with charcoal. And these blenders. It was really fun. I like working really big.
I think that's a hard thing to continue to do outside of school.
Working big?
Yeah.
Sorry. I think it depends. Like,
Well, what large format things have you been able to do outside of classes?
I've done very large paintings outside of school. I've done 5 foot by 4 foot paintings when we lived in Florida, Cape Coral. I think you can. I think you obviously just have to have the space to do it in, right? And that drawing that I did that was 6 feet tall, I just taped it to the hallway in my apartment. Like it wasn't at school. And I tried really hard not to get the charcoal on the walls.
And how successful were you?
I was very successful. My roommates didn't even notice that there was charcoal all over the place. Okay. Ooh, I like these eyeballs. Really scary. Oops. I did it! So cool. Do you know any artists that inspire you in your work, like that have similar styles to you?
That's a toughie. I suppose a lot of the smaller sketches by Dolly are really fun. Like especially a lot of his on the back of a napkin kind of stuff.
He had such a fluid line when he drew, when he sketched.
The magic that is Gary Larson, always.
We're giving him extra tall foreheads.
Because what?
I'm giving them extra long, tall foreheads. So I'm coloring, I don't know, I suppose they would be divots in their heads. Or maybe it's just paint. Yeah, it's just paint, people. This is a really smooth paper, so it doesn't take the like it doesn't smooth out the lines as much as I want it to. But again, it's just a sketch. Bring the I did post a time lapse of some fan art from what's it called, Beastar.
Oh, yeah.
So if you haven't checked that out, you should go check it out. Because I mentioned it when I mentioned it here in the last episode of this. I was like, okay, I really gotta go draw that now. So I just started not rereading it, but just looked at the last few volumes.
And what issue or volume was this one?
It was volume 17. So just a couple ago. I think we're on volume 19 right now. And so if you haven't checked out my time lapse, you should check it out. The other thing is, since I didn't just use watercolor, I used watercolor pencils and then washed it through, so there's definitely certain areas that are filled with pigment that won't accept a lot of the graphite, like right here. Ooh, that's really cool.
Yeah, it turned into something.
That's what this little task is supposed to. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. If it turns into something, if it doesn't turn into something, it's all good.
So something that's kind of fun that I'm kind of figuring out here is that there's a scratchy quality that these pens can get that a traditional fine point can't.
Yeah, I definitely keep pens around when they develop that kind of scratchy texture to them, because that's really fun when you can get that to appear on command, because sometimes it doesn't and you're like, come on. But yeah, if you can find a pen that does that, or wear one down until it gets to that point, you know. And there's the baby. Most of the time he makes appearances in my videos by gentle little snores.
I
think there's lots of thinking involved. I'm gonna erase this mouth. See, mine are turned into something too.
Now I'm noticing I'm having to fight the pen a little bit right now. So that might be my nib drying out a little bit.
Yep.
Again, really haven't used the Lamy for this kind of work.
Mm-hmm. Would you do it again? Or would you do it on a finer piece? Like...
Not certain. Again, just have to learn a little more about the ink.
Mm-hmm. Guess I'd have to have it leaning up if I want it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Oh, that's funny. So, leaning up, it's like good in the video.
But now you can't.
But now I can't see. There's a glare. Okay. And I could see myself painting this on a canvas. This giant head with a road coming out of them. Like that.
So you're gonna have to let me know where you're at, so I can kind of match you with timing here.
With doneness. Well, again, I kind of go for.
Kind of go for.
I go for. It's been like 40 minutes. So, you know, anytime you want to stop, you can. You out there, though, you cannot. Yeah, and again, the point's not to get something complete and finished and, you know, It's just to start something, to get ideas out, to practice your line work, to get that sketch out of your head, or maybe you're finishing a sketch that you have. Just so we could do it together.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you out there got something finished, something sketched, something. Now, because this is where things always go when I'm sketching, I want some stars. Stars.
What?
Stars. What? What do you mean, what? What? Yeah, if you go through my sketchbook, there's a lot of stars in there. Because I like stars. These are cosmic road assistants? That's what this would be called.
Road assistants?
Yeah, I can see this
I
road
see.
coming
Okay.
out their mouth.
I'm following you now.
Yeah, I haven't done graphite drawing in such a long time. Like, obviously just doodles, sure, but we'll add some stars to that. Ow. Ow. Just
You all right there?
stabbing myself with pencils. Oh, have you? Well, again, you haven't done this because
What?
you don't draw with pencils. But has anybody out there ever stabbed themselves with a pencil? Like literally stabbed themselves and had the pencil sticking out by itself?
That sounds like it requires
Like
skill.
Just chink.
Skill, immense skill.
Well, then I've had skill since I was in 3rd grade. That's when I did that. I was doing something maybe a little unsafe with my pencils, because my pencils went everywhere with me.
Extreme drawing?
Extreme drawing.
Were you on the back of a camel? Were you on a roller coaster? Were you...
Nope. I was in my room, and I was drawing on my desk, and I was afraid of the dark then. And it was getting dark outside, so I wanted to pull the shade down. But I couldn't reach the shade because I was, like 4 feet tall. So I stacked a bunch of my reading books up. Oh, like that scene in Coraline where she's trying to get the key off of the thing, she stacks up a whole bunch of books. Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like.
All right.
Exactly what it looked. Except I had my pencil in my hand like this, and reaching, and I just grabbed it and I pulled it down, and that's when all the books came out from under me and I fell down, and then the pencil was sticking out of my finger. It was awesome. And oh man, I knew I was gonna get in so much trouble, so I didn't tell my parents.
And you have a piece of lead in you to this very day.
I do! You can't see it anymore. I think it's been completely absorbed. So lesson out there, children. If you get lead in you, go tell your parents. They'll still yell at you, but
At least they'll remove the lead.
maybe. I don't know. Mine's way deep in there. Or I've gotten several splinters from pencils. Anybody? Anybody hear me? Come on. Pencil
Okay.
splinters?
No way.
Yeah. Yes way.
That they have that like thick coating on the outside of them. So where are you getting the splinter from?
Oh, come on. That will give you a splinter right there.
All right.
And if you break them, they have the jaggedy edges, you could totally get a splinter from that.
I guess I can understand that.
That's actually where I think I got my splinters. So you like extremely fine lines, so you use really tiny points on your pens.
Yeah, this one here is an EF.
I don't even know
extra
what that
fine.
means. Oh, extra fine. Oh, that's Lammy language.
Mm-hmm.
What's it in points? Like that's a point.
Well,
That's a point too. A help.
Okay.
Oh yeah, see, look how big that is.
Yeah.
Actually, even watching you draw that, I was like, that's a really thick pen for his drawing style.
My point ones.
Mm-hmm.
My .03s, which are my pride and joy.
That's like a hair. A hairline line. That's the thickest one used. So yeah, even that Lammy is way thicker than the thickest pen that you normally work with. That looks so good though. That is so cool.
We'll see where it ends up going from here.
Mm-hmm. So here's mine. I hope all of you out there got to grab some pencils and draw with us. And let me know about that lead thing. Pencil stabbing, anybody? Come on. I hope you all have a great day, night, afternoon, morning, week, midnight, and watch out for the roadside assistance. No, the Galactic roadside assistance.
Bye now.
Bye. I actually don't know how to turn this off.
Stop recording.
Why is it red?